48 hours to the exam. What do you think we should do?
Stop doing everything we've just said. This is the time for you to relax, take a step back, and actually, not be frantic about your preparation. Because you don't want to go in, you need to be well prepared, but at the same time, you don't want to go in with a lot of nervousness and tension. Definitely don't take a mock in the last 48 hours. Don't do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. There can be nothing more disastrous than taking a mock in the last 48 hours. See, if you're lucky and you get a boost in the score in the last 48 hours, you'll carry that morale with you in the examination. What if it turned out to be, you picked a mock test, which is probably not representative, or when you took the mock test, something happened that you actually did not do as well as you normally do, and your points come down, right? You normally score around 680, 700, and it ended up being a 620. Look at the kind of motivation and morale that you'll be having as you walk into the examination hall. Don't let that happen in the last 48 hours.
Absolutely.
That's like disastrous. Right? So probably when in the last 1 week, with about 2 to 3 days in the exam, when you have a good score bump, when you're having a good high happening, stop there and then start taking section tests. Section tests do not demotivate you because you're doing parts of it.
Right. It's kind of like doing revision of the concepts without actually doing it in a mock test environment.
You don't get to see the score, which is a big thing. You don't want to know how bad it is, right?
Yeah,
That in itself is a big help.
Right.
So don't do a mock with 48 hours to go. Right. What else should one be doing during the mocks? Are there some things that they should be doing with the mocks? How do they analyze the mocks?
Well, when they are taking mocks,
right.
It is important to identify not just your scores and say, oh, I got a Q48, I'm targeting a Q50, or I got a V30, I need to push it up by another 10 points or so. You need to be looking at what kind of questions you're making mistakes in. A good thing that you can look for is which quarter you're making your mistakes in, which quarter of the test, right? Because there are patterns even in that to the kinds of errors that people make. For example, I found when I was taking my mocks, that in the third quarter, or rather the third reading comprehension passage, right, in the verbal section,
you switch off.
I was switching off, right? So, so that told me I need to make sure I'm concentrating. I need to, if I'm looking at the passage, then just, I'm doing an RC passage, this is the third passage, this is when I normally switch off. So I'm just going to close my eyes for 30 seconds and take a mini break. And then get into the passage.
Can you just repeat that? This has worked wonders for me too. Can you just repeat that?
Just take a 30-second break in the middle of the test. That's perfectly fine.
You don't need to be tuned in all 62 minutes of the quant, all 65 minutes of the verbal. Right. There are times within that. So it's a long examination. It's a 3 hour, 7 minutes examination. So there are times when you're going to be going low on your concentration. The easiest thing to do is to switch off for 30 seconds. Switch off for 45 seconds. Come back. You'll be like completely focused. Trying to go with a completely decreasing line, the downward sloping line is going to lead you to disaster. Break that. Absolutely. Take a 30-second break. Close your eyes. Enjoy.
Right.
That's a 30-second siesta. It's a nap, power nap. That'll help you actually come back. That's a beautiful tip.
Absolutely. It has helped both of us. Yes. Right.
The other thing is like, to again recap what she said. See, the thing that you should not be focusing on is on your output metrics. During the preparation time, focus on your input metrics. See, don't say that I'll have to push the 38 to 40. Don't say I'll have to push the 48 to 50. How are you going to push it? Have you got a crowbar to push it? No. The only way you can do it
that would work. Everyone would be grabbing a crowbar for the GMAT.
Absolutely. The needle that you can move is like, check out what kind of mistakes am I making. Is the mistakes that I'm doing, are they in data sufficiency? Are they questions that are related to communication and sentence correction? What are the typical Achilles heel for me? And focus on improving that. Check out, and it's not just doing so many more questions and saying, some of the videos Swetha would have mentioned in the sentence correction. Don't say that like whenever I see this from will not come here or in will not come here. That's not the way to look at it.
Right.
You'll have to say that like, why is from accepted here or not accepted here? Try and go behind the reason for anything that is said the way it is said.
Right.
And get the meaning. So you're better off answering any equivalent question, not just answering that question.
Right. People come to us and they say, I've done 2,000 questions practice and I'm still not able to crack the GMAT. I've been preparing for 1.5 years. I'm not able to crack the GMAT. It is not about the volume of practice that you are doing or the amount of time that you're investing. It is about the quality of that preparation. So make sure you are doing that analysis of your practice, analysis of your mock test. It's not enough to say sentence correction is my weak area. You need to say, what can I do to not make it my weak area?
Absolutely. And pick those things, those little things, and maintain one error log. The error log should be it's an Excel sheet. Right. And it can probably run into 500 cells. I don't know how many, the number of different kinds of mistakes that you make. Keep a log of it. Many times we make very similar mistakes.
Right.
We overlook the same things. We will not read the question correctly. We would have made a calculation mistake. If before every mock you run through the laundry list of the mistakes that you have made, chances of repeating at least some of them are eliminated.
Absolutely.
That's like 4 questions saved gives you a boost of 40-50 points.
Absolutely. I found this when I was practicing for my quant section. Even when I was practicing the questions and not when I was taking the mocks, I thought I knew my arithmetic concepts better than I knew everything else. And every single time I found that I made a mistake in arithmetic questions, it was because I had misread the question.
Right. And sometimes when you're
I
confident
thought
about
they were
something,
asking about one value and I calculated it. It was in the answer options I marked and moved on.
right.
That was not the question at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so those little things, and if you made a note of these are the kinds of mistakes I'm making,
you'll be more conscious about it. You'll double read. I double read the question when I was doing it in the test because I knew that's where I'm falling short. That's what I need to be careful about.
absolutely.